Hello, my little Lexus. This
She,
is a little channel of horrors, and it's a special episode. And you know what? I'm gonna throw him under the bus right away. And it is DC's birthday episode. Da, 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 da.
no, yeah,
He
I'm
hates,
38.
he hates.
I'm 38 years old.
You are 38 years young. No, you're level 38. How about
Yeah.
that? You are level 38.
I'm a higher
But
level in most video games.
That's the truth. You're a higher level than most D&D games. I think like the highest level you can achieve is level 20. So
I am not. I am actually a higher level in life than I am in GTA because GTA I'm not very high level at all, but that's okay. Oh well.
your baby levels in GTA.
Yeah, it's because I don't actually play the game. I just goof around. I am messing. See, I'm playing. I'm doing this. My puzzle is right in front of me, and it's not built yet. And like every time I lean on it, it scrunches it up. So it's like it's very strange. Yeah, my alien.
Otherwise, you'll be picking at it. You would be picking at it a little bit.
Yeah, I mean
But
that's what I was doing in the last episode. I was like kind of picking my puzzle apart. So
your Jaws one anyway.
yeah. I think
So
it was the I think that one was the it was the Jaws one. It was the Jaws one.
it was the Jaws.
Yeah,
It was the Jaws.
Yeah. That's all right.
I'll remember for you. How about that?
Yeah, I don't remember anything. I'm 38. Take that.
You really don't. You really
No. I wonder what my hair looks like. Oh, it looks horrible. That's all right.
don't. That is a cut right there. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I had it in a ponytail all day, so it's like really messed up. And I had it like I wanted to make Michaela laugh. So she was like taking a shower. And I took all my hair and put it on the top of my head and put it in a ponytail like that. And she walked in and she was like, "What the fuck?" It was great. So made her laugh though.
But next time you need to put it right here in the front and you need to
Yeah.
be like, I'm a unicorn.
I can do unicorn. This thing's my hair is long enough to do anything now. I can do unicorn. I can do pigtails. I can do anything.
I was gonna say I got some blackmail ones of that.
Yeah, she's got pigtail pictures.
I've been good. I've never posted them.
I got blackmail pictures too, lady.
Yeah, we got blackmail photos of each other. Anyway, we're getting off track again. Look at us. I don't speak English. Remember, I speak bad English.
Yes. I speak ABC. That's what I speak. Yeah.
But as we trail off, as we always trail off. So this is the little channel of horrors, except it's turned into basically a horror podcast of me, your host, Chelsea Ducks. I'm a closet cosplayer with my buddy and partner in crime, who have already kind of announced because, you know, we're saying happy birthday, DC.
Yes, it is DC. That's what we do. So DC, who's wait. People found out that that's not my actual initials, and they're like, "Wait, what?"
Well, one of them's your initial, just by complete coincidence, but
yeah, it's okay. D's the very common first letter, so yay, vitamin D.
So birthday boy, vitamin D boy, birthday boy. What is today's fun theme topic for our little horror talk?
I think you went with the local urban legends, ghost stories, stuff like that we have in around where we live, which I didn't think about it, but I'm like, does that mean you're actually going to say where you live?
I can talk about the urban legend without saying the name of the town. And even if people try to Google this, it will pull up 100 different towns in my area, because let's face it, it's an urban legend. Most towns have the same urban legends. It's just told different ways. So
see, I'm going to be telling some urban legends that I know for a fact to be true because I've seen them. Yes. Knoxville is.
Are you going to scientifically say them away?
No, this is going to be like, this is legit things that are going on around where I live in Knoxville. Only one of them, like I wasn't going to talk about it, but it was the Brushy Mountain State Prison is about 40 minutes from where I live. And every single famous ghost hunting show, Ghost Adventures, Ghost Hunters, Ghost Nation, all of them have been to Brushy Mountain State Prison. So we have that, and that's fine. And that's why I don't want to talk about that, because everyone knows what Brushy Mountain State Prison is, and everyone knows what the Bell Witch is, which is here in Tennessee, very close to where I live. The haunting, what was it called? The haunting, something like that. The movie had Donald Sutherland in it. It was about the Bell Witch here in Tennessee. So, and I'm like,
oh, I know what you're talking about.
yeah, it's like,
it's been a long time since I've seen it.
Yeah, I went and saw it in theaters with my friend, and my friend made me stay the night with him because he was so scared. Yeah, that happened. So I can't remember what it is. It's a Donald Sutherland haunting. They made a sequel to it. I'm like, whatever.
Honestly, we could look it up and Google it. Let me Google the Googles and figure out. So it's the Bell Witch of Tennessee.
Like Donald Sutherland is in it. It's like haunting of something or something like that.
There's a Bell Witch cave. What?
It wasn't that great of a movie. I remember that. So.
Is it just called Bell Witch the movie? 2007?
No.
That doesn't sound right.
It's the haunting of something. Like it's I'll find
an American Haunting?
An American Haunting.
Is it just the American Haunting? Okay. So
yeah.
Oh, I guess Darkness Falls is supposed to be. Well, no, Darkness Falls was the Tooth Fairy, so that's weird. Yeah. Why are they saying that it's loosely based off of this legend? Maybe they mixed them.
The Bell Witch was a very crazy story. And if you want to read about that, that's fine. I would rather talk about things that are a little less known, because it's a lot more fun that way.
Well, I know my town urban legend is not known. So I kind of want to hear the urban legends around your area that is not as common and it's not like widely in books and movies and that kind of stuff.
Well, there's Oak Ridge, which from my house right now, I can get to the Y12 plant in about 20 minutes. And that's Oak Ridge. I live in North Knoxville, which is a stone's throw from Oak Ridge. And if for you history buffs, you have to know what Oak Ridge is. Oak Ridge National Labs, Y12, that is where they built the atomic bomb. And there's urban legends that you can find three antlered deer, and the radiation is so bad that it's caused 3 antlered deer, 3-eyed fish, stuff like that. But the thing is the river that runs through Oak Ridge, if you fish there, you are not allowed to keep the fish, and you are not allowed to eat the fish because of the radiation. So you can find 3-eyed fish there. That's absolutely true. I have seen a gopher there the size of a medium dog. It's
dear Lord.
Yes, everything's very true, but the urban legends there that are a little less known are that there is a gill man there. There is a man that lives in a fish tank that has gills, and everyone swears it to be true. So it's like, okay, cool. So whatever, Shape of Water could be happening down there. And there was another one that the woods surrounding Y12, you can hear screams at night because they did the Manhattan Projects there. The Manhattan Projects was where they were basically fucking with the space-time continuum and making very weird weapons. And 2 people just went hiking in the woods and just disappeared. No one ever found them. And you can actually hear their screams and stuff. So it's like kind of weird, but the cool thing in my area, and I have seen this is real. We have something called the Old City. It's downtown area where I'm going to take you if we ever, I'm taking you to the downtown area. You'll love it.
You're saying if it's gonna happen someday.
Yes, one day I will take it. Though I can't take you to what I'm about to say because they don't allow the public in. but the old city was built on top of another city. So there is a gateway in the back of the old city where you can go down into the catacombs, and there is a full-blown city under there. There's sidewalks, streets, everything, and it is very, very as above, so below. I've actually seen it, and it's very weird. So it's
I was
you
gonna say.
yeah, you go down and you are on a sidewalk underground, and it was an old city. They didn't tear down the city, they just built the city on top of it. So, and there's a lot of stories around there about really creepy things that go down, like Gay Street. There was a man who in the 1800s, there was 2 hangings. We have several places where we used to hang people. The University of Tennessee has Summit Hill, which used to be called Gallows Hill, because that's where they would take the people up and hang them. But we had one downtown too, another Gallows Hill, and they would hang people. 2 people got hung, and back then they would just kind of just toss the bodies. And this one dude stole the bodies. He stole 2 people, and while they were still warm, he decided he was going to play Dr. Frankenstein, and he hooked them up to an electric charge and tried to bring them back. And they were still warm when he did it. So, but the thing was, he stopped and he said he's not going to play God, because if God chose these people to die, he's not going to reverse that. So I don't think he went through with it, but there are other legends that say he did go through with it and it worked and stuff like that. So we have, and that's just like a few. We have a ton of stories like that around here. And when you get here, I'm sure you will hear all of them, because we have books based on all the crap that goes down in Knoxville, Tennessee. We are a haunted town. It is crazy. You've seen it before. I've sent you pictures of the restaurant that I go to where I see my friend play music.
Yeah.
Yes, that is very haunted. It's called Baker's Peters. It's where we go. It's called Finn's now, but it used to be called Baker's Peters. And during the Civil War, they used it as a hospital. And the thing was, the guy who ran the hospital used to bring in people from the other side. He would bring in, the enemy and fix them too. He ended up being shot through the door because he was harboring fugitives and prisoners of war. So he died in a horrible way. And the dude that
he was just trying to be a good guy.
Yes. But once again, he was working with this side and he was helping this side. That's a big no-no. Still trying to be a nice guy. But I know the guy that owns Finn's, because I go there all the time to see my friend play. But super nice guy, awesome. And he swears that you can hear glasses rattling at night. The lights turn on and off by themselves. The furniture moves itself. You can smell formaldehyde, which is kind of odd. I didn't explain these things away to him because I didn't want to be a dick. But it was like, I'm like, okay, it's an old house. So yeah, things are going to make a lot of noises. The glasses rattling. It's a bar. It's like, come on, dude. But whatever, it's on him. And it is because I was planning on taking you to Finn's too, you and Nate, but you got to be prepared to have because that place is expensive.
Yeah.
It's a very fancy dining place. When you see it, you will walk in like, okay, this fucking place is haunted, because it is a mansion and it is a house that they turned into a restaurant, and it's very creepy, very cool, very creepy. But yeah, I
was gonna say, sounds perfect.
yeah, but it was a jazz club after that. It was like after they turned it into Baker's Peters, which was a jazz club, and now it's a bar restaurant called Finn's. And they kept the Baker's Peters sign, which is a martini glass. So you have a martini glass, and it says Finn's in Irish font. And it's like, what does a martini glass have to do with Irish folklore?
Have to do with Irish.
Yeah, and then you walk in the door and it's just
fantastic.
You're like, it's full blown Irish. You've got Gaelic on the walls. It's very, very cool. And everything. And then you go up to the bar and everything is all Guinness. It's just like Guinness, drink Guinness. It's like, all right. Very, very, very cool little place. We have a very cool little town. There may be nothing to do, but there's a lot of deep history here. Very cool. We were in the middle of the Civil War. We had the Battle of Farragut here. It is very awesome. So, yeah. Ooh, spooky.
I was gonna say your area probably has way more like the historical stories and
Oh yeah.
bringing up anything like that, whereas
Yeah.
our urban
Well,
legend
when,
was more like, I
when
want to
we
say
stop here,
cultist.
yeah, when we stop here, Google Knoxville, Tennessee, ghost stories, and it's just Google will go. Google it will give you thousands of history, and you'll love every story. So,
It will just go.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, what's funny is that my hometown actually, I want to say it was on an episode of like, it
Unsolved
wasn't
mystery.
a supernatural show. I think it was
Oh,
Picker's Place or whatever. So it was one of those like old theater buildings or something,
we've
and
been
that
on
they took them
Dateline
on a
6
tour for.
times.
Probably not for good things.
No, we were on Dateline. This is a funny story, real quick. We were on Dateline. Me and Michaela had just moved out of our apartment, and we moved into the house, and everything was going cool and everything. We were watching Dateline one night, and they were like, the apartment we used to live in was called Cross Creek. And we went home and we were just watching Dateline one night, and they were like, the murder at Cross Creek. And we were like, oh, that's the name of our apartment. That's kind of funny. And it popped up Knoxville, Tennessee. And we were like, oh shit. And it turned out that
That's where we
like
lived.
about 4 years before we moved in the apartment that was right next to ours, there was a horrendous murder, like a bloody, nasty murder. And they caught the guy and everything, but it was like that we never heard about it. And in Knoxville, if you buy real estate, if someone died in your in the place where you are living, they have to tell you, like, oh yeah, there was a death here, kind of thing. And but if you're renting, they don't have to tell you. So it's like, we were renting at the time, so they were like, you didn't hear? It's like, no, we never heard about that.
No.
So yeah.
Mm-mm.
Dateline, but you got to be on. You should be on. I think you were on Unsolved Mysteries.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm still unsolvable.
Yeah, completely. Women are nature's Rubik's cube.
I thought that was men.
No, we're nature's just dodo bird.
Oh,
Just
the
feed
dodo
us.
bird.
Just feed us. We'll be happy. uh,
Well, I was so in my hometown. I would actually be more curious to find out from like history books, like when this actually started, because it obviously was my dad who had told me and my friends the urban legend. And I think it's because of him being such a history nut that he would get his hands on all these books and that. So that's where he had heard the urban legend. So what it was, I'm going to assume it was a cult thing. I mean, obviously, small town area, if you have Christians in that, they'll come up with these random, like, satanic stories that are really, really creepy. And I think they're more just stories to keep people in line or to make children afraid, I guess. I don't know.
yeah. Okay.
But
Yeah, I understand. Yeah. You
the
don't
idea
eat
of
your
nursery
vegetables, the
stories,
boogeyman's gonna eat you.
yeah, that it makes me think of that type of idea. But so this was basically the urban legend of Goatman Road. And it's an old dirt road, and it was called Loris Road. And so out in the middle of the country, in the middle of nowhere, obviously, very timber. So a lot of woods, trees, and it just so happened that since in my old house, I lived out in the country, well, actually, oddly enough, my brother's friend that we were talking about in the last episode, the one that liked to be an ass to me, he lived on the other side of that road. So of course, my dad, knowing all the back roads, because apparently my light's gonna start doing that shit again. And this is the new one. That's the sad part.
That's because you're talking about ghosts, and now that
Now it's gonna start doing the thing.
Yeah.
It's gonna start doing the
I
thing.
can't explain this one. I don't know, man. I can't do scientific stuff on this one. You're just haunted.
I am.
Yeah.
But let me try plugging it in a different plugin, because my hubby plugged it in that wall.
Sometimes
and I want to say that it overheats. I think it's the outlet that overheats.
So what you're saying is putting it in a different hole works sometimes.
It has a preference.
Oh no, I'm alone. I'm alone on the podcast. This is not good. I'm getting nervous now.
So I definitely can tell that that's what its issue and problem is.
Yeah.
Is that it's overheating, and it's got to be the outlet. Like the outlet has a problem, because I haven't been plugging it into the outlet, and well, not the outlet, the extension cord. There's the word I'm looking for. I've purposely not been plugging in the extension cord because I thought it was the cord, sure enough. And now I think it's fried the light. So
that's a question for Brandon. Brandon's an electrician. So
yeah. Because I've been using it. I've just been plugging it straight into the wall, and I haven't had a problem. Poor Nate used the extension cord, and it's overheated. And when I touch just the plug-in part, it is hot, like on fire hot.
That's probably not a good thing.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not. So I will let it cool down, and then I'll try plugging in. We'll have the ambiance part of the dark Tracy lights. I don't know.
Yeah, you'll be all right. You hey, you're beautiful in any light.
Anywho, so Loris
Road.
I have how many friends that tell me that every day. It's nice. So it's nice.
The word of the day is simp.
Right. I'll have to do that though, unfortunately.
Yeah, the one thing.
Yeah, it's gonna have issues.
Thing's gonna go out of focus a lot. You're gonna have to sit real still.
Bear with me, people. Telling me to sit still is just silly. Okay, yeah. Anyway, let's get back to the urban legend that I started for everybody. So my dad knows all the old back roads. And so, of course, him knowing the urban legend of Goatman Road and him figuring out where this road is, he decides, hey, I'm going to take you all down this weird back road that we've never been by before. And he's like, it's going to take us to your brother's friend's house anyways, and we have to pick him up. So, of course, it's in the middle of the night, and he starts telling us this urban legend. And apparently that the whole story was that there's this old abandoned brick farmhouse back there, and that one of the local families kept having an issue and a problem because they had their livestock that out in this field. And they said that they started noticing that several of their animals were either going missing, or they would find them, but they'd be dead and their heads would be gone. And it was always around this old brick farmhouse. And one of the local farmers said that one night he was looking for his livestock that was missing, and said that he swore that he saw something moving by the house. So he went to investigate, and said that he saw the silhouette of what looked like a man, but part goat, because he stood like 7 feet tall, but had huge gaping horns out of its head, and had cloven feet. You very easily could make a movie of this. And that basically he swore that this thing was taking his livestock. Well, of course, everybody in the area believed him because back then that's what you did, was you believed these crazy stories. So of course, us being a bunch of kids and my dad saying, "Oh, we're on Goatman Road, and if you get out of the truck, he's gonna get you children and he's gonna eat you, because look right there, that's the brick house." And of course, my dad, thinking he was funny, had us all outside of the vehicle where he's like, "Okay, bye," and just drove off, because that's something that my dad would do.
I like your
And it
dad
was
already.
it was me and 5 of my, I don't even know what he did. Like, he had us out of the truck and we were walking because we were looking for something. And that's when he was telling us this legend of Goatman Road. And then he points off in the distance. He goes, "Oh yeah, and there's the farmhouse." And then that's when he just starts driving off. 5 little girls all just like standing there like, "What do we do?"
No, see, that's when I drive about like a few feet down the road and I stop and like turn off the lights and everything where you can't see nothing. I get out of the car and I sneak close as I can, like get a little bit distance away from you. And while y'all are just like, "Daddy," I'm over here in the background, like, like just like freaking you out because I'm an asshole.
Like, Gary, oh my God, it's coming. Yeah. So obviously the legend of Goatman Road started turning into that. Even to like this day, weird things happen at that place. And it could be a cultist thing. I don't know. It could be because of the urban legend is a huge thing, especially around Halloween. People tell the story of Goatman Road, and that the local farmers who do own the land now would have problems because there was always people out in that area, that it got so bad to the point where they tore down the farmhouse. So the farmhouse isn't there anymore. So, I mean, that's kind of unfortunate because it was a really cool landmark. And especially like, it was part of an urban legend in the area. Now it's like, well, there's a spot that used to have the creepy farmhouse that could have had Goatman, but
stupid county taking
in
all our
my
fun.
area, yeah, in my area, it's like they don't view old things as sacred. Like around here, they tear things down, and yeah.
Next thing, they're going to ban dancing. Nobody puts Charcy in a corner.
Charcy's in the corner all the time. What do you know, Mom?
You're in a corner currently.
I'm in a corner of the desk. Are y'all?
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I mean, we have that kind of stuff too, where it's like they'll have the haunted places and then they'll tear the haunted thing down and stuff like that. Like the hospital I was talking about, they tore it down.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they rebuilt a office building and now it's the Regal Cinema headquarters. So yeah, that's what we do, which is fine by me because I mean that's the only theater I go to. Like I won't go to an AMC. I won't do that. I'll only go to Regal. Like well, probably because I have that little pass thing that's like, hey, you can go see any movie. It's like I probably wouldn't have saw Shang-Chi last night had I not had that unlimited pass thing, because I was like, I had no desire to see Shang-Chi. And then I was like, yeah. But they got, I mean, I'm wondering, like, they have that thing where it's like, if you build something on top of a haunted thing, then that thing becomes haunted. I wonder if anybody at Regal has experienced weird things. So
I was going to ask you that, actually. I was going to ask the question, does anything have like the weird, like Poltergeist, where Poltergeist?
The Night of the Chicken Dead.
I was talking about that with Nate the other day.
It's the best movie ever.
It is. It's fantastic. But basically like the house where it got built over a graveyard and weird freaky shit happens. I'm curious if that is the same at the theater too.
I haven't heard anything, that no one ever talks about it. So I'm like, but you can see it when you go down to the river, like if we go like Calhoun's or something like that, and like you go down to the river straight. Actually, it's like right near where they built the city, on top of the city. You go down the hill, the gigantic hill, and it's like you look across the river and there's a big expensive apartment complex and Regal Cinema's headquarters. And they built an apartment complex on top of the hospital too. So
Focus. And then I
Okay.
can't tell where my hand is.
Okay.
Focus.
But yeah, I mean, it's, I don't know, it's, I'm sure you can come up with like any kind of cool little ghost story and make a movie about it here. Cause I mean,
Oh God, yeah.
yeah, it's like
Oh yeah.
you literally could base As Above, So Below on it, but As Above, So Below is actually based on the catacombs, like for real. That's a true story. But it's like we
Mhm.
have our own little catacombs here, and it's and like half of the buildings downtown are supposedly haunted and everything else. So it's like we've got so many derelict buildings down there that just look haunted. So I don't know. I love it. It's a neat little place to live. So I mean, nothing around here is that bad. I live in a house where like 3 people have died, and I've never experienced anything. So, including my own mother. my mother
Yeah.
died like 20 feet that way. It was like, yeah, it's not a fun thing to think about, but
No, it's definitely not.
my dad sleeps in the bed my mom died in. Like, I'm like, dude, I
Mm.
would have got a new mattress. Like, whoa, that is not for me.
I
Yeah.
am that way when I visit my in-laws, because my mother-in-law had passed away in the couch. I to this day cannot sit in that couch. It's just no.
Man, I can't
Yeah.
imagine. Like, I mean, I've taken a nap in the bed before, in that bed, because it was raining, and in my bedroom you can't hear the rain as well because the window is at my feet and you can hear it but not well, and then in that room the window's at your head and you can hear the rain hitting, and it's also we're way off the ground. Like, my house is built on a hill that's slanted, so like my bedroom's like way up here and then that bedroom's like way down here, so it's like it's closer to the ground, so you can actually hear the rain hitting the ground better, and it makes me
Yeah.
sleepy. So I took a nap in there once, and it's like, I mean, I did. I laid down and I was like, my mother died in this bed. And I'm like,
Oh.
and my dad swears he can feel her
Well,
moving. He's like, I can feel your
so
mother moving
I
every night. And I'm like,
I would
really?
believe it. I would believe it. Maybe that's why he keeps it.
Or,
Because I mean, he misses her.
or that bed is like 40 years old and they haven't changed the mattress in like 40 years. So the springs are probably a little wonky. So if he moves a tiny centimeter, he's gonna feel it on the other side. It's like, so yeah, there's a reason for that. So, but if he wants to keep
Or I could do my usual joke and say, "Oh, it's the spirit of your mom next to your dad, keeping him company."
yeah. I mean, I'll go along with it and be like, yeah, it's probably her. She's probably just like, move over.
Move over.
Why are you
Give
watching
me
this?
some
Turn the
room.
Titans game on. She would too, dude.
What are you watching?
My mom was a trip. Like, there was a funny moment. This house pops and cracks a lot because it's kind of old. But like, there was a moment like, if the Titans scored a touchdown, she was known for screaming, jumping up and down, celebrating. She loved her Titans. And about 2 seasons, it was like 2 seasons ago, they scored a touchdown and the house popped right as soon as they scored the touchdown. I was like, touchdown, you sure pop. And he was like, and Dad was like, oh, Mom's happy. Yeah, she is. But and like my dad, like when the Titans, they were doing so good right after my mom died, they'd never done good when she was alive, and she was a huge fan. They started doing good when she died, and Dad was like, swear to God, if they go to the Super Bowl after your mother dies, he's like, I'm gonna be so pissed. And he was like rooting against him, so he's like, no, you can't go to the Super Bowl, she's dead. Jeez, Dad. Ugh.
Or they went for your mom without knowing.
Who knows?
But yeah, I was gonna say my small town obviously just had the one urban legend, but obviously every small town in the area had their own individual one. And my friend S- What is that booping? Do you hear that? Oh, I know what it is. My hubby's got the Discord on in here, so now it's gonna bloop on. I'm like, what the hell is
Just
that?
like, I don't hear the voices crazy. Like, you go tell yourself jokes you haven't heard before.
I hear the voices again.
They're telling me to do things like eat
Terrible
food.
things or wonderful things.
Work out
Ivy.
again. Why are you telling me to work out again?
Wow. It's my rest day, damn it.
I will not be working out. It is
Anyway,
no sweaty workout pics for me. Dang it.
no. Sorry, birthday boy.
I've seen
Gotta
enough of those.
disappoint you.
Like text you randomly. What are you doing? Sweaty workout pic. Oh,
Working out.
like,
Working out again.
jeez, good Lord. And she, I
But
swear,
yeah.
you wear the most clothing of anyone I've ever met when you work out.
I do. The more layers I wear, the more I sweat because I really am not a sweaty person except for my hyperhidrosis. And of course, the best way to lose calories in that is to work up a sweat.
Mhm.
So if I wear more layers, I sweat more. So, but yeah, I'm one of those weird people that I'm cold like all the time. So a lot of people are like, "What's your favorite season?" And I'm like, "Summer." And they're like, "Oh, it's too hot." And I'm like, "I love 95 degrees." And if I'm sitting and I'm at, ooh, and I am
Yeah.
sweating, I'm happy.
Yeah. Well, we've discussed this because I'm like, yeah, you need to come to Tennessee in the winter when I'm in a better mood because in the summer I am not in a good mood. In fall, I'm in the best mood because winter I'm too cold and I'm cranky. But like fall, I'm always in the best mood because that's just I love fall. That's where it's at, man.
Here it starts. We don't even get a fall anymore. It gets cold way too fast.
Yeah.
Like we get like maybe 1 month, and now even October. We've been last Halloween. It snowed. It's like who gets snow on Halloween? Like the poor kids had to wear their like snow pants and winter coats to go trick or treating.
It's been below freezing on Halloween before here. I mean, it's we usually like right now it's probably like 79 degrees, zero humidity, and it's fantastic. Like the last 2 days it's been 80 degrees flat, zero humidity. So it has been amazing outside. It has felt
That I was gonna say that is perfect weather right there.
Yes.
Here we've been 75, and today was the first day with no humidity. It was weird, like waking up and no moisture whatsoever. Like that was weird.
Yeah,
But perfect sleeping weather.
yeah, we got the hurricane. We got the remnants of the hurricane, and then that's usually what happens. We'll like get one big like hurricane like thing. It would blow in, and then our temperatures will just plummet. And it's just and then it's perfect all through fall, and then winter hits. And lately our winters have been kind of warm. Like I think it was when mom was still alive. So it was like 4 or 5 years ago. It was like 80, like 83 degrees on Christmas. Like people were wearing shorts and t-shirts. It was fucking weird. Ugh, I hate that. No.
I was gonna say, you want a white Christmas, you come up here because dear Lord, it's
That's
been
what we want.
terrible, terrible winters up here for the last, God, I want to say 6, 7 years. It's just, and I'm ready for warm weather. I could live with a green Christmas.
Yeah. Well, ours is more of a bone tree Christmas. It's like like there's no leaves anywhere. Like we are very odd. We get green and then we go orange and then it looks like skeletons everywhere. Like all of our leaves fall off and it looks derelict. It's fantastic. I love that part. Yeah. But we get a lot of visitors in the fall. We get tourists out ass
Yep.
in the fall. It's awful.
I believe that.
Yeah, it's as soon as the leaves start changing, you're just like, come on, man. You can't even get to it's takes without traffic, it takes about 45 minutes to get to Pigeon Forge from here. But in the winter, you're guaranteed an hour and a half drive. It's like, fuck that. Fucking tourists.
We get all of our tourists in the area in the summertime.
Yeah.
And what's weird, it's like we think about around here, it's like there's nothing to do around here, but people flock here for whatever reason to camp. There, it's where our area, I guess, is famous for camping.
Yeah.
Which, you go camping, you get all the crazy haunted stories from that. I'm positive we had our own version of a chupacabra because
Nice.
I remember us sitting around as kids and my one best friend telling the story of the creature with the red eyes. And that we swore in the middle of the night, if we had to go to the bathroom, we all had to go together as a group. And the one friend swears to God she saw the red glowing eyes. And it's like, nope.
That's why women go to the bathroom together. They're afraid of the
Mhm.
chupacabra.
The chupacabra's gonna get you.
Nice. Like we got to go to the bathroom together because the chupacabra is going to get us. Like,
Mhm.
cool. Because I know every time that's the weirdest practice y'all do. I've never understood that. It's like all the women go to the bathroom together. It's like, why? Like y'all, like what is going on in there? So,
It makes sense for college, though. It makes
Yeah.
sense for college because
I
it
can
was more of a
understand that.
protection thing.
it's like, I mean, I've had ex-girlfriends. I'm out to dinner with them and they're double dating. It's like, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. Oh, me too. And like, what are you doing in there? Y'all in there like doing coke or something? What's going on? You're like
No.
in there doing Candyman, some kind of ritual, something like that, and make us fall in love with you. What are you doing? What are you doing? Witchcraft? You trading baseball cards? What are you doing? You know?
King,
Yeah, but
he gets going to the bathroom.
yeah, I guess. Michaela
I
said that
think
she
it's a
did that
protection
whenever
thing.
she wouldn't talk to him. Like they just go to the bathroom in silence. And I'm like, well, what do you do? I don't know. We just go to the bathroom. I'm like, but why together? It's like, I don't know.
See, me and my girlfriends were always the different. We're probably the weirdos in the bathroom that we're talking the whole fucking
Yeah.
time.
That's weird stuff, man. Women are
It's
just
usually to talk about our dates. So there's that.
yeah, I
You gotta
figured
talk
that,
about your
but
date.
I
Yeah.
mean, so oh, he's so cute. Ooh, you know, it's like I am about to go home. Hey, can you give me a boost? I'm gonna crawl out this window real quick. Like, yeah, yeah, all right. See ya. I'll tell him you died. Yeah.
I actually had one of those instances
Oh, Jesus.
where she's like, I need to get out of here. This guy is awful and I can't stand him. And it's like, she did. She's like, I'm just gonna go. And I'm like, well, what do you want me to do about it? She goes, say I had a family emergency and had to go. And that was awkward as fuck. Where it's like, you just come back and it's like, she had to go.
Oh, she
Of course, then the
died.
whole time, she's dead.
She died in the bathroom. We already had the funeral. It was really sad.
It's sobs so sad. Oh, by the way, if you see her walking around the street, that's her twin sister. Leave her alone. It's a sore subject. She doesn't want to hear about her dead
She
sister.
misses her sister really bad.
So don't bring it up.
And her twin sister's gay, so don't try to like hit on her or anything.
She won't be interested. I'm curious to see if this light is still. So I'll have to let Nate know that he fried another light. Good thing they're not like stupid expensive, but they're not cheap either.
Yeah, that's all right.
Cool to the touch now. I'm gonna have to. I think we have to throw that. I keep wanting to call it an outlet. The extension cord. I need to throw that away.
This thing right here, this one, that was like $15 at Target, and it's a USB one that just plugs right into the USB. So
And see, the one that we had gotten, the first one, that one was like $20. This one, because it's bigger, I think this one was like 35, 40, something like that.
This one ain't that big. This one's like this size of a donut. Yeah. You need to get that away from your head. You don't have a halo. If you have a halo, it's held up by horns.
My horns.
You're the devil.
See the heart, see the heart.
You're the devil.
As it goes
look,
blurry.
See that? That's what you get for making fun.
So you go ahead and tell another one of your stories. I'm gonna attempt to plug this in and see what happens. I'm probably gonna blow up. So I'm gonna have some birthday fireworks here for you.
That'll be all right. That'll be all right. I'm trying to think of anything that was like outrageously cool. I mean, we don't really we have like I don't know, like the Emporium, the World's Fair and all that. I mean, it's just we have the thing is we have a lot of like history places like cabins and famous houses like Thomas Jefferson's house or something like that. I don't think it's actually Thomas Jefferson's. I don't remember the name exactly because I'm not a big history buff. But I like to live in the future. I don't like to live in the past, because I got a bad neck, so I don't like turning around looking in the back. But we have a lot of history.
Oh, you're so funny.
Yeah. But like we have a lot of history, and so yeah, you hear stories of people talking about like slavery, and like you can hear the stuff like that. And I mean, it isn't like, I don't know, I guess we just get basic ghost stories and basic urban legends. We don't have anything. When we have the urban legend that we have a really good college football team, when really we fucking suck. But we have just the most like pumpkin spice latte basic ghost stories. And it's like, yeah, okay, it's black coffee here for the most famous ones. And I mean, we get cool stuff like Finn's and Oak Ridge and Brushy Mountain State Prison, but for the most part, it's like bad things happened here, and you can hear the ghosts complaining about it. It's like, my back and stuff like that, And it's like, I'm like, but I want to have like a ghost story where it's funny. It's like, well, I mean, this guy died. He got a Darwin Award. He was trying to build his own fucking weather or friggin' hot air balloon, and he filled it up with helium, and like something bad happened, and on a Friday night in the middle of winter, you can hear him say, "Whoa, it's cold, my bones hurt," and stuff. I want stuff like that, man. I want something stupid. And oh no, you get horrifying stories of people killing their families, and it's like, on a night like this, you can hear the children crying because they were murdered in their sleep. It's like, that's horrible. Give me something that's uplifting, like
mine wasn't too bad then, I guess.
No.
Mine would have been a little at least.
See, that would make me laugh. The goat man. That would make me laugh. I would love that. But no, I'm like, why can't we get one? It's like, if you're a little old lady on a night like this, you'll feel the ghosts help you across the street. Like, why can't it ever be positive? I've heard of positive ghost stories before, but it's like, I want something that happens repetitively. It's like, yeah, on a night like this, he'll help you with your taxes. It's like, that'd be great. So no, I mean, I don't really have any more stories to share.
Gold in the backyard.
Yeah. Like, so I don't really have any stories to share that aren't just the most basic thing, where it's like, okay, some people died here. And because this really is like a big battleground for the Civil War. We have a thing called the Civil War Tour here, where you start at one end of Knoxville and end up in the other end of Knoxville. And you visit all the major battles, the major battle scenes. And the headquarters and the forts. We have forts here, and you can see all of that stuff. I mean, and most of it, like 90% of it's absolutely free. You just walk into it like, hey, cool, here's a fort, and they're like, welcome to Fort whatever. And you're like, okay, this is pretty cool. And then you walk around for about 4 minutes and you're like, fuck this, I want to leave. This is boring. And then they'll tell you the stories and shit like, oh yeah, 90,000 people died on this very spot. And on the day it rains, you'll see puddles of red from all the blood that saturated the soil. And you're like, can you be fucking positive? Like, yeah, like, if you have a gun that jams, you'll have a ghost that'll take it out of your hands, clean it for you, and then suddenly it works. But I have had weird shit happen though, so yeah, it's cool. It's all right.
I was gonna say in our area, semi similar to yours, except ours isn't the Civil War. The tours that they have around my area is a lot of the Black Hawk forts, because
Blackhawks
all around my area in northern Illinois, Wisconsin, and that you had the Black Hawk War and everything happen. So yeah, there's a lot of weird history up here too. And of course, it's always the same similar stories where it's the sob stories about the women and the children. And it's just like, it's heartbreaking stuff. And I mean, it is. It's very heartbreaking. And war's not a good thing. But it'd be interesting to know, like, where did half of these urban legends and folklore stories end up happening? Like Goatman Road. Why the hell did that become a thing? And 9 times out of 10, it's because it's supposed to tell a moral of a story to basically scare the shit out of you so that you behave.
I mean, we had one that was kind of neat around here where it's like, well, it wasn't here. I think it's actually in South Carolina. But that's close to here. I mean, it's like 6 hours away. But it's like there's a place in South Carolina where it's like there's this huge church that has a massive steeple. It's like it's all relative to the size of your steeple. And you see the big T off in the distance. And it's like in this county, no matter where you stand, you can see the steeple. It doesn't matter where you stand, you can see that damn steeple, except for one place, and it's this alleyway. And once you go into the alleyway, you can no longer see the steeple. And the story was that there was a lot of murders and other bad things that happened to women in that area.
Bad things. Yeah.
Yes. And because you couldn't see the steeple, therefore God couldn't see. That was the story. And it's like, and when you're in there, it really was about 10, 15 degrees cooler than anywhere else. And it's like, that was kind of cool. And my batteries on my camera actually did die. Like while I was in there, while I was taking a picture, the batteries just died. Now I can't sit here and say, oh yeah, I had a full charge before I left. Knowing me, I probably did not, because I am very forgetful. And this was an alleyway, so yeah, it's going to be a little colder, but 10, 15 degrees is a little much. So that was one of the coolest ghost adventures I've ever been on. That was a tour, and it was like, yeah, if you go to this alley and if you take pictures, you'll see pictures of shadow people and stuff. And it's like, I did that, I didn't see anything, but they were like, your camera might die. And I'm like, cool, all right. Now once again, that's another sad story. Yeah, it's another sad story, but that one actually had some validity to it, because back in the 1800s, that would absolutely happen. People would not commit crimes where you could see a steeple, because if you could see a steeple, God could see you. And so yeah, absolutely, I could see this little alleyway, like where you can't see the steeple. Some bad things would definitely had happened. And it's like, we don't have any killers and stuff like that. All of our hauntings are from war and stuff like that. So it's like
negative things happening. Yeah. In that area.
And Tennessee was on the losing side of that war. We were part of the Confederacy, and yeah, so we did some terrible things, and it's always, and that's probably part of our mantra. While everyone's like, whenever I say, "Oh, I'm from Tennessee," and automatically like, "Oh, so you're a racist," and it's like, no, Knoxville, Tennessee is the most inclusive county and city in the state of Tennessee. We're even more inclusive than Nashville and Chattanooga. It's like we are like you don't see a lot of racism here. Oh, you definitely see racism here. It definitely happens, but we're very conservative and like, well, not conservative because we are very not conservative, but you know what I mean. We are very right.
You're conservative.
Yeah, we are definitely a red state. It's like we are absolutely a red state. But we are subdued, and and the more people that come to visit me, I have a lot of friends that come from other states to visit me, and there goes your light again. Yeah, and it flickered.
Or is it because of my?
Could be. I don't know. Something flickered on.
I was drinking my coffee. It didn't want me to drink my coffee.
Yeah. But we do get a lot of people that are like, a lot of people that would leave and be like, you know what, I did not expect it to be the people to be as kind as they were. And it's like, yeah, we have a saying in Knoxville: if you can't fit in here, then that's your problem. If you can't fit in here, then the problem is you. Like, because we are very, very kind people. The Southern hospitality is what we live by. For fuck's sake, Dolly Parton is from Sevierville, which is Knoxville adjacent. And yeah, we live by everyone in Knoxville worships Dolly Parton. And it's like, she's a great human being, we love her. And it's like, we try to live
but she is, though.
Yes, she absolutely is. And but people want to more liken us to Paula Deen, and it's like, no, Paula Deen is more Nashville than Knoxville, and Dolly's more Knoxville than Nashville. So yeah, and so don't let our history scare you away. Like
I was gonna say, you want an area not to visit because people are rude. Don't visit Northern Illinois ever.
I've been there.
Seriously, only drive like 45 minutes north. Yeah, you've been in this area. 45 minutes north up in Wisconsin. I'd rather be up there because it's literally just a stone throw away, and people are like immensely nicer and pleasant. But it's like, you come back to my area, people are assholes. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if it stems because of Chicago and the suburbs. I really don't know. But it's like, people really are really mean around here. And if they don't get their way, they are cruel. It's fucking ridiculous.
My uncle lived in Wisconsin. I got to visit him a couple times in Wisconsin, and absolutely, they like Wisconsin people are some of the nicest people you will ever run into. And I've been a Packers fan for a long time, and like, one of the weirdest thing I've ever heard was a Steelers fan, which is weird. Steelers and Packers don't exactly get along. And Chicago Bears fans and Packers really don't get along. And I had a friend that was from Chicago. She was a Chicago Bears fan. And I was like, yeah, I'm a Packers fan. And she's like, oh, fuck you, kind of thing. And then she was like, but there's one thing, and that's Packers fans are always really nice. Like, yeah, like because we're used to our team being fucking terrible. I'm like, yeah, they're good now.
And they got good for a while.
Yeah. And the Bears, they're just pitiful. So poor Bears.
Probably why they're all assholes, because their team's really bad right now.
If you want to go by that logic, Browns fans should be assholes, and usually Browns fans are pretty nice.
That's true.
Yeah, usually.
That's true.
There are some that are, and the Browns are forever attached to Knoxville. So like the owner of the Browns is from Knoxville. So.
Okay, that makes sense then.
Some people jump ship.
Well, then he'd be nice then.
He's not. Some people jump ship to the Browns from the Titans, and it's like, well, the Titans are never going to be good, and it's like, yeah, it's because our owners suck. Our owners are horrible. It's like, I love the Titans, but if the Titans are playing the Packers, I'm rooting for the Packers. I'm bad about that. Like the Predators are the only team where it used to be where it's like, I root for the Blackhawks no matter what. I love the Blackhawks, which was weird because I was a Blackhawks fan and a Packers fan, which is a big no-no. And I would root for them, but the Titans are the only ones where I'm just like, yeah. I mean, not the Titans, but the Predators are like, yeah, Predators all the way. You know, screw the Blackhawks, even though you beat the hell out of us every year. Oh well.
Oh, so many good times though with sports. But yeah, I've noticed any of the places that are the big cities, like Yankee fans, oh, awful. Chicago fans, terrible. But it's like you go to the smaller places like Lambeau, Knoxville, any of those.
Mhm.
Those fans are some of the nicest fans, yeah, and it's sportsmanship.
Yeah.
I enjoy when you can be like comrades, even though you're on opposing teams. But it's like especially with your friend, where you're like, she's like, "Oh, you're a Packers fan? Well, fuck you!" And it's like, where did that come from?
Yeah. She was just like, but you guys are really nice. Like, we are.
As she's telling you, "Fuck you."
Yeah, as she's telling me, that's a Chicago thing, I guess. But yeah, Brandon's a Packers fan too. We're both Packers fans, so it's. But in actuality, I haven't watched an NFL football game in probably like 2 years. Like, I just
To
don't
be
care
fair,
about football. Yeah, this is the only sport
I
I
haven't
really
since
care about.
COVID.
This is it. This is the only sport I actually care about besides MMA. This is it. Hockey. Other than that,
Hockey's fun though.
it is. It's fun. If someone ain't punching somebody, I'm probably not gonna like it. So I love MMA. I mean, and professional wrestling. I am finding a love for independent professional wrestling more than professional wrestling. Like, I'm that last show I went to. That show I went to on Sunday, last Sunday. Oh my god, dude! I had more fun in that 4-hour span than I have in a long time. That was a blast. God, that was so much fun. Like, and I get to do it again on Halloween, and then I get to meet one of my favorite independent wrestlers. His name is Danhausen. I have to send you some videos of Danhausen, not wrestling videos, but him interviewing people. It is the funniest shit because he is very good, very evil, very good. It's like he just keeps saying very good, very evil, and he has an accent. And he told Chris Jericho, he's like, here's what you do to win the fight. You, before the bell ring, you say hello Wardlow, and you punch him in the groin. It's like, he is so good. I'm like, I fucking love that guy. And I get to meet him.
I was gonna say,
one of my heroes. So I'm like, yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes.
That's
Halloween.
awesome though.
And I'm like trying to get Michaela to go, but I'm like, if you don't go, that means that we do not spend Halloween night together. Like, I will be at this event all night long. And
tell her she can dress up.
Yeah,
tell her it's Halloween. She can dress
up. We can do it. Just let me buy you a ticket, and we'll go. And she's like, but she just does not like wrestling. She's like, I can't get into it. It's just not fun. And I'm like, I understand.
It's different in person, though. So different in person.
Yeah, well, she's been to a wrestling event with me in person, and she was like, it was fun, but she caught a wrestler's shirt and she wears it now. But it's like, it didn't draw me in. I'm like, you've got to come out to this NGW. I don't care if you don't like wrestling. These NGW shows, I got the hiccups. The NGW shows are phenomenal. They are so much damn fun. They actually had an ongoing storyline all night. The dude in the main event had a manager, and they knew he was going to cheat, so they kicked him out of the building. Yay! And then he showed up after intermission dressed as a woman, and he was like, no, I bought a ticket. I'm right here. I don't know. They're like, wait a second. And they pull off the wig. It's you. No. go, and they chase him out of the building. And then during the main event, when his guys fight, and you just hear a banging, you're like, what is that? And he's like banging on the windows, and he's like watching from outside, like banging on the windows. He's like, go, go. And then he gets chased off by security. And it's like, it was
my
just the
God.
best. It was so much fun. Like this is a blast. And I'm sure Danhausen will make it even more fun. So.
I'm excited for you. But yeah, I love this. Like I told you before, I'm like, the setup for that entire ring in that building was gorgeous. But
Haunted
yeah, I
building.
can just imagine how the show was. Yes,
Haunted
even
building.
better.
It was haunted building.
Every
That's Jackson
building is
Terminal.
haunted.
That's Jackson Terminal. That's where they made the railroad stop, and there was a railroad crash, and it killed a bunch of people. So apparently that terminal's haunted.
It was right there.
Yep.
I know of that though.
Yeah.
Huh.
Jackson Terminal.
Well then.
That's how you do it. And I'll be there on Halloween night.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah. I'll talk her into going. You bet.
Do
I'll
it.
talk Kaylin to go. Like, come
Tell
on.
her to dress up all
You get to-
sexy.
I think she said she would go if I dressed like Danhausen. And I was
Let's
like,
do it.
I'm not painting my face. I have a reason for not painting my face. I have really sensitive skin. So my skin will break out. Like you can see it. Look all this red. I'm breaking out. I do it. Look at this right here. I have psoriasis. So it's like, this is breaking out, and I cannot put face paint on that. Like I will be dark red the next day. So like, no.
Have to make yourself a mimic mask or something like that, just to
Yeah.
kind of like mimic it.
That's all I could do. Like,
Mhm.
I mean, I get to talk. I mean, I'll get to talk to him. That's all. Just like, tell him, you punch me in the groin. It'd be great. It'd be funny. Punch me in the groin. No, you do. And
that's
who
when he
wins?
punches
Who wins?
you.
Chris Judas wins.
That's when he punches you in the groin.
Yes. Just don't punch me in the groin. Okay. He's great. And some dude, he was interviewing some dude. He's like, oh, dude, I spent the night getting hit in the head with an axe by some kind of little person. And oh, why are you complaining? That sounds fantastic. Like so good.
Well,
I'm trying to down this and finish it because I have not drank a lot of water today and I'm behind.
you definitely need more water. But I think we're to that point already. So that
Good timing.
we could wrap it up so that you can go get some more water there.
Yeah. Oh, and also AEW comes on in 4 minutes.
Oh, well then, yeah, we'll definitely wrap it up for you then.
Yeah.
So thank you for joining us again on another little channel of horrors and talking with us about urban legends. Share with us some of your local areas, urban legends. Let us know if any of the ones that we shared with you today, if your hometown has similar ones, or maybe you have the funny urban legend that DC is seeking
Yes.
and looking for. So
I want a positive urban legend. I don't want death and destruction. I want something positive. I want something that the ghost helps people. I have heard of ghosts helping people find missing people and ghosts saving people's lives. I've heard of that on TV. I've heard on paranormal encounters and stuff like that. I love that show, by the way. Even though I don't believe in it, I love that shit. But I would love to hear a personal story of one time an urban legend, a positive urban legend. I would love that. Fountain of youth, if you will.
So bring us your stories. And thank you again for being here with us. You can find me on my Twitter for Charcy Lux or my Instagram for Charcy87. For DC, you can find him on his
Death Cursed Pod. I'll do it.
TikTok.
I'll do it. I'm gonna
TikTok.
do it. I'm gonna do it. Drew Barrymore from ET style. Find me on Death Cursed Pod.
Death Cuts Pod, please.
Death Pod. So cute. Drew, shout out to Drew Barrymore for being just the most adorable person throughout her entire life. She is still adorable. I love
And
Drew Barrymore.
Beautiful inside and out.
Oh, I love
Gorgeous.
Drew Barrymore
Gorgeous,
so
gorgeous,
much.
gorgeous.
Shout out to Drew Barrymore, man. God, I love that woman. Her and she's added to the list. She's added to the list of celebrities.
Our list is going to get so long.
She's added to the list. I don't care. Her and Bill Paxton have been added to the list of celebrities you are.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
I love it.
But
That was who was that said that? We got to give them a shout out. Who was it that said that Bill Paxton should be added? Hold on, I'll find it like 5 seconds. It was one of our comments on YouTube.
Yeah.
I'll find it in like 5 seconds. Hold on.
I want to say it was one of your buddies, wasn't? No.
It was Happy Hard Harry.
Yes.
Don't know who that is. Right off. But that he said Bill Paxton should be added to the list of people you're not allowed to hate. He is absolutely correct. So Bill Paxton got added to. I actually responded to him with to quote the great Chris Jericho. He just made the list. Yes. And yeah,
a perfect way to add that in.
Yes.
But don't forget to wish DC a happy birthday.
You'll do it on Twitter tomorrow. You'll be like, "Oh, happy birthday to Death Curse Pod," and then everyone's gonna freaking go into it, and I'm gonna have 97 notifications. And in fact, I may even like beat you to it and say today's my birthday, and just like go ahead and get it over with. It's like go for it, yeah.
And then I'll make a post, and everybody will talk on it, and you're gonna be stuck with it.
Hot Horror Queen will make a post, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
She already messed me over with the freaking Dude Bro Party Massacre. I never said that it was better than A24's Library, but I did
threw you
say
under the bus
on Twitter. I said accurate. So I made it worse on myself, but that's okay. So she ain't watching.
It's so funny.
She ain't got time to watch this. She ain't watching. Be fine. Right.
We barely have time to watch it.
But to put it in perspective of our timestamp on these, the topic of the day was decided 40 minutes before we started filming.
I was thinking of doing it for a while though.
Yeah.
I forgot to bring it up to you.
Yeah, we do that sometimes. That's on us. We just don't have time. We barely communicate as it is. It's like we just don't have time. And it's like we do what we can. And we set aside about an hour or two to do this. So okay. We gotta say bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Where's the wait? Hold on. I forgot what the stop button is. Okay, there it is. Okay, bye everybody.